Hi, Anders. It's
Hello.
such a pleasure to have you here on my podcast.
Oh, my
Uh,
pleasure.
you are my first guest from abroad. It's my first
Okay.
interview I made in English, so
Okay.
I'm a little nervous, but I will do my
Okay.
best.
Okay. You better do well now.
So, this is a podcast about records, and I would like to
Yeah.
know what was the first record you fell in love with in your life? The first one.
The first record I fell in love, I don't know. I think it was Fragile with Jess.
It's
Yeah.
a very good one.
Yeah. That was a really it was like a flash coming into my head when I heard it. It was amazing.
How did progressive rock came into your life?
I think that was the moment, when I heard Jess and started to listen to that kind of music.
Hmm.
At that time, there was nothing called progressive music. It was just rock music.
Yes.
And but yeah, I was very inspired by them.
Did you see them in concert that time?
No, never seen Jess in concert really.
And Genesis and Pink Floyd, or
Genesis I've seen once, yeah.
with Peter Gabriel?
No, that was not with Peter Gabriel. That was with Phil Collins.
Okay.
Yeah,
Late
I've never seen
70s.
Peter Gabriel. Yeah,
It was in late 70s or early 80s.
that was late 70s. Yeah, I was very very young.
Okay.
But
Okay.
Peter Gabriel had left the band long time ago.
Okay.
Um,
Yes, he left in 1975 after The Lamb
yeah,
Lies Down on Broadway. So,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
do you remember the first time you entered the studio to record professionally?
Yeah, yes. That was in Stockholm, a studio called Studio Decibel,
Hmm.
a very famous studio at that time. And um, I was also very young, 16 years old or something like that. I was very nervous, and I produced my first song, um, and I remember it very well. That was a real experience to be in that big studio, and I was, you know, little boy from the countryside, just came to Stockholm and to do my
Hmm.
first recording. That was an experience really, but I did a lot of mistake. It was so difficult. I
Really?
never, I never believed it was so difficult to play good in a good recording studio. But it was an experience. But later on, I learned how to do it.
So it was before or after you entered the band Kung Tung?
Oh, that was after. Oh my God, you know more than I do. Yeah, yeah, Kung Tung. That was not my progressive music. That was a kind of blues rock band
Yeah.
that I played in. Yeah, and I left the band because I wasn't really into that kind of music. I wanted to do something more colorful, something more exciting than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But that was just after. Yeah,
Okay. I understand. So let's talk about your first album, The End of Illusion, released in 1981.
yeah.
It is
True.
true that it took 2 years to record it.
No, it took
No,
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah, yeah.
So, can you tell us this story?
Yeah, well, that was the result of. I told you I went into this big recording studio when I was very very young, and I really really wanted to do more music, and but then a studio at that time was very very expensive. That was you couldn't, like today you can do it in your bedroom or anything. You need to, at that time you had to be in those very expensive studios, and I had no money. But the managers of the studio, they thought that I really had something to do, and they let me do that. They let me work there for weekends and things like that. So Saturday night when the studio was empty, I went in there with my friend and we started to record, and we didn't have to pay anything, almost nothing. So that was how it all started. I was writing that music. I was very inspired by also the progressive music, but I was also inspired by, for instance, Alan Parsons, who was a producer. So I wanted to do music that was not just song after song after song, but a continuing piece of music that took you into different areas and different emotions and so on the whole time. So you should listen to the whole music without any breaks. That was my idea. And that's how I started to do something. I did actually 2 albums, 20 minutes each, because at the LP, that was 40 minutes, and it was 20 minutes on each side. So I made one piece of music, 20 minutes for one side of the LP, and next page I did another 20 minutes. There was 2 pieces of music really, without any breaks. And it took a very long time to do, and it was very challenging. And my idea was that I was going to invite a lot of musicians from Stockholm at that time. So I did. So I had a lot of different musicians. I had 3 different drummers. I had 2 bass players and a lot of other guitarists and a violin player, and a lot of people there. And it was very exciting experience to do that. And it took me 3 years. It was almost like a lifetime at that time. But one day I was finished, and I struggled to get a record company, but I actually got a record company who wanted to release it. So that's how I proceeded.
What is your favorite piece of music from this album?
The favorite piece from this album, I don't know. To be honest, I don't listen to very often nowadays, because I only hear the mistakes. But maybe Micro War is a nice piece. Micro War was a really jazz-inspired piece in a way.
So this record has now gained the cult status, and finding its original vinyl version is almost impossible. Yeah. Why do you think people like this record so much?
I don't know. I also been thinking of that because, I have, as I said, I think that people like the energy. There was a very energetic, and there was a energy of young exuberance, that feeling you have when you're 17 years old. You want to put in a lot of energy in it, and I think that was in combination of that. I want to do something that was very elaborate musically. So the music was quite complicated, very inspired by jazz and UK, and bands at that time was playing quite complicated music with the kind of instruments. So I spent a lot of time to practicing to learn how to play the stuff. And maybe that's why people like it, because it was very elaborate. I did really put in a lot of work. I put in my soul, and in the whole production, I was thinking of the music night and day for 3 years, and that's why maybe people like it.
Yeah. So in 2002, you recorded an album in Rio, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Fields of Inertia.
Fields of Inertia, yeah.
How is your relationship with Brazil?
Oh, it's very good. I don't know. Brazil is like it's become my second home in a way, and I have a lot of fans there. I think Brazil is the #1 country for me right now, even if I don't speak Portuguese very well, but doesn't matter. Important country. I love the country. I love the culture and the music, even though the music I am doing does not really sound Brazilian, but I like it anyway.
Yeah. Who were the Brazilian musicians who played with you on this record?
Oh, that was a lot of different musicians. I got it from the studio I worked in. It was a studio in Barra de Tijuca. I don't think it exists anymore, but I was above all then Robert Timbo Silva, you know,
the legendary drummer Robertinho Silva.
Yeah, and there was his student as well playing drums. I don't remember his name right now. So that was an experience. Also, they have the singer Kika Triastau. We made another song actually, but that song was not written by me. So the record company pulled it out from the album. But yeah, so that was shows he's a very good singer, and we did a good job there. And Celio Carvalho as well on percussion. I remember, yeah. There was a lot of good musicians there.
Yeah. Do you have a Brazilian record that you like a lot?
Brazilian record?
Yes, a Brazilian music, Brazilian artist.
I love very much to listen to Michel Pipoquinha. You ever heard him?
Yes.
Yeah. Because he is using this kind of jazz rock fusion stuff with his bass, and he's a fantastic musician. So I like to listen to him. That's not really progressive, but it's kind of jazzy stuff he's doing. That's really good. Also, Junior Beginha, not a good bass player. I like.
Yes.
He played with Donati, I think. I don't know, but yeah.
So do you know any Brazilian progressive music? Like Mutantes, O Terço?
No.
No. They are such a good Brazilian progressive rock bands.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the 70s.
From the 70s, so they're not exist anymore.
No, they don't. They don't. They are all alive, but not as a band.
Yeah.
But you should listen. They are fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
So
in Brazil has so many good musicians. There's no place in this whole world where there's so many good musicians as in Brazil.
I agree.
I'm not surprised. But most of them you have never heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your most recent release is Opus I, right?
Yeah.
You recorded it with your trio.
Yes, I recorded it with a trio, even though this album was done during the lockdown, you know, the pandemic.
Yes.
When it was very tough. You could barely go to the studio. So we recorded it online.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think it would be much better if you had recorded it at the same room.
Yeah.
But you couldn't do that. But it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
So that's a kind of different style now. While playing this piano trio, because I think it is challenging to play acoustic, and also it's less hassle because you don't have to carry lots of heavy instruments everywhere and pick up cables and stuff. You can just go to the venue and get up and play. That's fun. So challenging. I don't listen very much to piano music myself. I'm listening more to sort of electric music, like prog music and fusion and things like that. But this project is very fun. It's very challenging to play, and so.
How was the pandemic for you?
It was very difficult, but I tried to do the best I could. To spend a lot of time writing music and practicing a lot, really. So I think I have improved my playing quite a lot. But it was difficult, of course, but to be isolated in your home for such a long time. It's better now, though. I hope it's better in Brazil, too.
Yes. Today we have a very low rate of people getting ill, so we're doing our best. We're trying.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll be in Brazil in a few days, right?
Yeah, I'm coming in 1 or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're looking forward to it?
Yeah, of course. I really have free gigs in Rio, Porto Alegre, and São Paulo, and with my new trio. And that's very interesting because we haven't played together before. I had played with Simon, who played bass. We are playing, and I played with Juan, who played drums. And they have played with each other, but we have never played us three together before.
Really?
So it's going to be exciting to see how it works. Yeah.
And after these concerts, what are your plans on your career?
It depends on the pandemic. We have plans in Europe, in Paris, and also Japan tour coming up, hopefully.
Yeah. So we're coming to the end of this episode, and I would like to ask you to make a top 5 progressive rock albums that you like most. Oh. Can you do it for us?
Okay. I think there has to be the older ones then.
Yes.
Yeah. As I said, I would say Fragile with Jess, that was number 1. Maybe one of the older Genesis albums.
Selling England by the Pound, maybe?
Selling England by the Pound, yeah. Put the words in my mouth. Yeah, that album. Selling England by the Pound. That was a good one. Maybe you go even further backward. Jethro Tull.
Yeah.
Thick as a Brick.
Yes.
That's a very old one, but that is something that, my music, I think I'm very inspired by Jethro Tull still.
Yeah. 1972, 50 years.
Yeah. So that's interesting. What else? There are some newer bands, maybe. Änglagård from Sweden. Have you heard them?
Yes.
Änglagård.
Yes.
Pretty good, yeah. And
they're from Sweden, right?
Yeah. My friends, I know them. Yeah. So that was 4.
Yes.
Maybe we should have something a little tougher in the end. Maybe some progressive. Maybe the progressive metal. Maybe Dream Theater and like that. They're quite heavy, but they're really good.
So it's such a good list.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Anders, that's the end of this episode for today. Thank you so much for joining us in our podcast. Yeah. I really hope we can meet in your show here in Rio.
Yeah, I hope so.
I will be there.
I hope if you come to England, we can go out and have a beer at the pub.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
So, and I hope I can get a copy of End of Illusion for you to sign for me.
Oh, yeah. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Anders. See you.
Okay. See you then.
See you in a few weeks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.